Welcome back to JB Reviews. I found a 2023 Ram 3500. This is a limited Longhorn, and unfortunately guys, a $100,000 truck is the new standard. And I don't know why. Why did these trucks get so expensive? Now, obviously we can blame it on inflation, which that's 99% of the problem. But why did these trucks get so expensive? Now, as I've mentioned in the past, these trucks have not seen much of any updates, and for the most part some of these trucks have seen $20,000 to even $25,000 price increases. And I am going to show you guys around this truck. I'm going to show you guys the Payload as I always do, but let's go ahead and start with the window sticker so you guys can have an understanding of the price point on this pickup. So this is my first dually review, and if you are looking at a limited Longhorn crew cab with a long box four-wheel drive, this is going to be the base price. And then just check out some of your standard equipment on this side. Be sure to pause it. And then starting off, your options is towing tech group and safety group, and that's going to continue at the top here. Protection group is next with fifth wheel prep and Gooseneck towing prep. Longhorn level 1 is the second most expensive package on this truck, and some of the things that you see here used to be standard on the 2022, so just keep that in mind. And this one does have the high output Cummins at $12,495, sunroof, and a few other options listed here. The dual rear wheel option is $14,995, so if you are pricing, this is separate from base price, so just keep that in mind. And then $18,995 is destination, with a total price of $101,680. So there you have it, $102,000. Like, that is a lot of money. And don't get me wrong, this is the king of luxury. I mean, even to this day, Ram has done a great job with their pickups. Like, the overall exterior design, like, take a look at these headlights. These headlights are of the highest quality of even luxury cars. Full LED. You have a projector style headlight that swivels with the steering wheel, and LED fog lights. You have all the parking sensors, forward facing camera. You have a bold front grille that looks luxurious. And under the hood, this is the pinnacle of the best when it comes down to diesel engines. And let's face it, $102,000 is a lot of money. And for most people, they're not using these trucks to, make money. Some people are just using them to pull their RVs or their horse trailers, things like that. And this one does not have the Sport Performance hood, nor is it available. And Ram is still using a 17-inch wheel, and they're using Nexton tires. And then here's that tire size, LT 235/80/17. And then here's some of the capacities for the tire right here. 3,085 for single, and then 2,835 for dual setup, and 80 PSIs. Solid front axle, and most people know that they did upgrade the mirrors for the truck. I personally like these in chrome better than all black, because it's just this really cheap looking black plastic. So I like the chrome accent on this. You have a new light that they added, and then you have your turn signals. Smart key system, and of course this one does have power deployable running boards. By the way, I can't wait to show you guys the interior. This is my favorite interior for the limited Longhorn. It used to be Laramie Longhorn. And this one is the crew cab with 8-foot bed. And surprisingly, this truck does not have air suspension. So that's another $2,000 that you can add to that sticker price. But if you don't get that suspension, all is not lost. You do get the 2 overload leaf springs. You have 4 leaves in the main pack, and you have an additional leaf right here. And I mean, look at the frame of this truck. I mean, the overall construction is top notch on the Ram HDs. I mean, here's just a better look at that wheel. And I've always wondered, do they give you aluminum wheel on both sides? I don't think they do, actually. Nope, that's just a steel wheel back there. But you do have the 50-gallon fuel tank, which was an option. LED marker lights and tail lights. license plate lights, they're all LED. Class 5 receiving hitch. And this one does have that backup camera, which you would expect at this price point. Assisted bed. There's also a 5th wheel hitch that comes available as well. And you have your 7 and your 12 pin. You have your bed lights back here. There is a camera for the bed too up there with a clear high center mount light. And then that 5th wheel prep package. And something that Ram does that the others don't is they do add an additional sensor right here. And that does protect your dually bed. So anyone that's not really good at, you know, backing up these trucks or just forgets about it when they're backing up, that would help you. Now obviously it will not help you on the front of the bed, unfortunately. So you have to be careful with that when you are pulling in someplace. And here's just a better look at that bright white paint too. There is no metallic in this color, that's why it does not have an extra charge. So when you see an extra charge, it's because it's either metallic or pearl. No matter who you are, everyone gives the Cummins its props. That's probably why Ram to this day is one of the best trucks on the market. It's because of this setup. And because it has an inline 6 design versus the V8 from GM and Ford, it has less moving parts. It doesn't need harmonic balancers and things like that. And I think that the power delivery is so great in this engine. And of course, 1,075 pound-feet of torque speaks for itself. 420 horsepower is lacking behind the other two, but I think that this engine puts down the power the best. Like, even though the Ford is faster, I like the power delivery. It feels more reliable, it feels more refined. And I think that whether you're going up a steep grade or not, this one will probably do it the best. And it's not because I'm a fanboy of the Cummins. Well, maybe it is, I don't know. But it's really because I've towed the most with this engine, and it has never ever left me like feeling like, man, I need more power. And this one does have the 373 rear, I didn't mention that, but you can get a 410 with a dually. And honestly, a dually is going to get 14 miles to the gallon. It might get 0.2 miles less getting the 410, but I would definitely get the 410 with the 6-speed Eisen behind this engine. It just, I think it's the best way to go. I've only towed with one in the standard output Cummins, but I have yet to do it with the high output. So hopefully in the future I'll find one and we'll get a test going for you guys. I won't spend too much time on the interior, but if you are looking at a limited Longhorn, I did a video on another truck and it had the lighter interior color. If you are looking to order, buy this one. You can compare it. I will put that video at the end of this one. This is the better interior color, guys. Like, black roof. The other one had a different color roof, which looks kind of tacky in my opinion, especially at this price point. And I just think that everything looks so much nicer. Like, check this thing out. And I love the black carpet. I feel like it'll just last a lot longer. And of course, as I mentioned outside, you have these new mirrors. They're power. You can power the convex or heat it. You have lights on the front. You have a light on the basically on the back right here for backing up your trailer. You can actually push them out. There's just so many different options and features for them. This one does have the digital gauge cluster. I have other videos that I've done this on, so you guys can go back and watch those videos. They did update these buttons too. And surprisingly, hold on here. You see that? This one doesn't have a wood steering wheel right here. I thought that they've all had that, but I can't remember if the one I reviewed in the past did. But overall, great interior design. This one has the auxiliaries. It has the wireless charging, which comes a part of that limited Longhorn package. I love that they cover the cup holders in your storage here. It looks so much nicer. Yeah. This is one of the best interior colors. I actually wanted this over my Limited that I bought back in the day, but they told me I couldn't get painted bumpers, so I got the Limited. But I would have definitely gotten this truck 100%. Love the interior design. Alrighty, so just a quick peek out back. And you do have outboard heated seats. Check that out, looks really nice. And cup holders here, 2 right there. And there's actually 2 more down on the floor here. USBs, air vents, and again, that black roof, rear sliding glass. Really nice setup, 60/40 bench. And I didn't mention this earlier, but this is all real wood too, by the way, and the seats are real leather. But let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers for this particular truck. So you have a gross axle weight rating up front at 6,000 pounds. The rear is 9,750. 14,000 pound GVWR. And all in, you have a payload of 5,089 pounds. So this truck does not have the air suspension, which I don't think the air suspension makes the truck heavier. I think that it might be a wash because you lose 3 leafs in there. I think you might lose 4 leafs. I think it might give you 3 leafs in the main pack when you get the airbags. But this one does not have the 5th wheel hitch either. So I'm surprised by how low this payload is. I thought it would be like around 52 or at least 5,100 pounds. If you do get the Eisen, that does decrease your payload because that transmission is a lot heavier. Well, it's not a lot heavier, it's like a couple 100 pounds heavier than the 68 RFE. But hey, it is what it is. Like, I probably wouldn't skip it if I was towing super heavy because, or if I was towing constantly. I would prefer to have the Eisen. But the 68 RFE is not a bad transmission. It's actually really good too. And yeah, I definitely recommend this truck. Special shout out to Larry H. Miller. They would have let me probably get the key for the truck, but like I said, I just figured I'd just do a quick video for you guys. And in closing, the reason why these trucks are so expensive is because people can afford them. More and more people are starting to buy trucks, and I think that's why the price point has gone up so significantly, because when you go to a dealership, you see a lot of SUVs, you see a lot of you know, like Gladiators, Wranglers, things like that. Those cars are pretty attainable for most people, but you don't really see a lot of these types of trucks. You would expect to see a $100,000 truck just sitting on a lot for that one buyer who can actually afford it, but these trucks don't stick around, so they're selling them super fast, and so that's why the price point of them keep going up. Now, I know a lot of people will say in the comment section, well, people should stop buying them. I agree with you. We should join together, because this truck, in my opinion, is not worth $100,000 personally. I don't think that they've done anything within the last year for them to justify these higher prices, but hey, if they keep selling them, why would they lower the price?